So can authentication on the phone be automated easily? I have my colleague Manuel here today to explain the details, but first what I want to do is just look at what does authentication on the phone even mean. I'm going to play like a quick video where an insurance company verifies the identity of a caller.
To adjust your car mileage, please tell me your insurance number. I will also send a verification code by SMS to the mobile number we have on file.
883-483-04.
Thanks. For your insurance number, please enter the verification code now.
1653.
A lot happened in there in those in those 30 seconds, right?
Yes, indeed. I mean, imagine an agent need to handling that, right? And I hope I can show today a bit on it, or take away the fear people might have to implement something like that. So let's directly jump into what we've seen in this little snippet here. Just a second, I open it up. So I directly focused on the main part where the magic happens, what you've seen now. So you have basically some modules here where we're asking for the insurance number, where we're asking for the verification code and verifying it against to what we know later in the process. But the main question is how easy, or where is it built? So how I'm able to build this verification code and have it easy accessible. Well, that happens exactly within babelforce, and we created a template where you easily can access and change and adjust this to your needs. So you see everything comes down to no code here. You can decide how many digits should the code have, to which or from which number it should be sent. Also to which number should it be sent. So in this case we are directly referring on a number from our system of record, in this case Zendesk, and we define the text which should be shown within the SMS, and also this little thing here with the call ID. I will refer back to that in a second. This will be sent out automatically, and then the customer or the caller enters it in this module, and as said, we're then switching into the switch node where we actually verifying those informations against a system of record, for example, or the input we get from or receive from the customer. So you see here, for example, the app speech to text. This is exactly the module above where we ask for the insurance number, and we are verifying it against what we know from our system of record. And the second thing here you see is IVR verification code. This is something we defined within our template. And then again, is it a match with what we received from the customer? If yes, the person is authenticated and he could do things directly via voice bot, or the agent don't need to authenticate him anymore. But the question is how easy you can access those informations, right? I mean, if we quickly get back to this little call ID, see the call ID is a little backpack the call is carrying around, and we just put every information we need in there and use or open it up and use the informations when we need them along the processes you want to define, and basically that's it then.
Okay, so Manuel, from what you showed us, right, it looks like all the business logic is implemented directly in babelforce in this case.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So so it doesn't. So you don't start a development project, right, or get a whole load of engineers and QA involved or whatever, right? So the creation of the verification code, how it's sent out, how it's associated with the call, how you then verify it when you get the input of the code back, and that's entirely done within the in the platform. That's really cool. So I think what we're seeing here is a general purpose way to make a team very agile, right? I mean, this is one example of that. You can create whatever kind of algorithm or software you need to support whatever process you draw out on the whiteboard That's really, really cool. One last thing that came to mind here is that we saw in the video, right, that was a 30-second interaction with the voice bot. Typically from our benchmark data, when an agent does it, it's usually on average about 45 seconds because it's a little bit more efficient, human understanding, clicking buttons in an interface, looking things up and so on. That 45 seconds is 45 seconds of agent time that's no longer needed, right? So if your agents are outsourced or if they're internal, in either case, you're going to see those 45 seconds disappear from all of your calls. Now, if you take 150,000 calls a month as an example, that's a lot of time. In fact, it adds up in this process alone. Just that section of the call adds up to about €500,000 in savings, minimum, €500,000 savings. That's a pretty big business benefits case, just for that small part of the call. Very impressive. When we look at the implementation time, though, right, which is pretty much, in hours, then, your time to value is going to be extremely short. Like the longest time to value we see is something like 3 or 4 months, and often even faster than that. So, yeah, I think that's really, really cool. Thanks, Manuel, for showing us how it works in practice.
You're welcome.